Seconds.
Okay, I think we're actually live now, Candy. So we're coming in with a quick testimonial. Now, Candy's going to give the testimonial, even though it's not her, it's her husband. And her husband is there in the background, but he won't say it. Okay, so Candy's going to say it on his behalf. He can hear what
Yeah.
so I'm not going to say much. I'm going to pass it over to Candy, and she can tell the story. So, Candy, what's happened with your husband?
So my husband works in heating and air, and he's tall, he's 6'3", and was working in a crawl space for a couple of days. And so his I think his right knee was just killing him. And he was complaining he was hardly able to walk and was just like, I'm so miserable, I just gotta go to bed. And I said, well, use the blower. That's what it's for. Everybody says it's like the most amazing for pain. And so I brought it out, took it out to the room where he was at, went in, grabbed some dinner, and it wasn't even 5 minutes and he's walking in. I'm like, you got to use it a little bit longer. He said, no, I don't. I'm fine. I'm like, what do you mean you're fine? And he said, yeah, I'm fine. It feels great. And I said, well, what was your pain level before you started? And he said it was a 10. And I
Right.
said, how about when you stopped? And he said, it's a 0. I feel great. I'm going to bed. And so I asked him, I was just asking him while I was talking with Ethan, if his pain was still gone today. And he's like, yeah, completely gone.
Because this was
So
yesterday that this happened, right?
it was last night. Yeah. And so he just said, yep, it's true.
Awesome. So there you have it. I mean, and this is the kind of thing that we're seeing on a day by day basis that I'm hearing from people constantly. This is a life changer for people, and even big cities.
Yeah, I mean, he was in a lot of pain. He probably would have suffered for weeks before that resolved. Even though I've got a lot of great tools, he will often just suffer through it. But just to see that, I mean, people ask me and you all the time, what have you seen? Well, I haven't really seen anything. I got a couple veins to work on, but I give them about 1 to 2 minutes a day. It's not really enough to see substantial change. But what I do is I do a quick meridian opener every morning. Get my hands, my feet, behind my calves, my groin, my armpits, my neck, top of my head, done. That's like 10 minutes. That's about all I got in a day.
Yeah.
Hit my vein for a minute or two, and just to have his firsthand experience was incredible. And the fact that it's still gone today.
I can just mention. I wasn't going to mention it, but my wife is a bit of a mess because she had a head-on car crash. They didn't expect her to survive 6 or 7 years ago. She did survive. Then they said she'd never walk again. She's walking again, but she has problems. She's got pins all over her body, and she broke a lot of bones and blah 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 blah. So she has a lot of pain. And one of the things that she has is I think because of the she's off balance because she's got stuff in her hip and all the rest of it. So she gets certain muscles are stressed, and her neck muscles are part of that. So she's constantly she often can't turn her head much. You'll see her like look around like this. She's got very little movement in her neck a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time. And she goes to a chiropractor. I've gone all blurry. Have I gone blurry for you, or is that just my
Yeah,
end?
it just barely happened.
That's weird.
It kind of cleared up.
Yeah,
It's better,
the
but it
camera's
was weird.
saying if we're sharp, that's too bad. We've got to blur him out a little bit. All right. Anyway,
Right.
so yeah, so she has and she's constantly saying to me, "Can you just massage my neck, whatever?" And I'm constantly saying no. Sometimes I do it, but she's always asking me, "Can you massage my neck?" Anyway, so I said, "We've just got in the last 2 days our ones because it took like 4 months to organise it getting to Brazil." Anyway, so I just did 5 minutes or so, maybe a little more, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes on the back of her neck, and she's instantly, "Oh, wow!" She got better results than when she goes to the Cairo, charging whatever they charge, $50 an hour or whatever it is. Um,
Mhm.
so that's gonna save me a lot of fifties. and it's better, and it can be done, any time, any minute that she wants it. She doesn't have to book an appointment and go and all the rest of it. So I mean, pretty impressed with that. Um, and we've used it on a few other things, and she's seeing some signs. Nothing miraculous like some of the things that we hear that on her.
It was 5 minutes, right? I mean, spend 20 minutes. All of a sudden, you just got crystal clear. Maybe you weren't supposed to be talking about her behind her back.
Right, isn't that weird? Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. All clear now. You can see the clear blue eyes now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my wife is chuffed with that. And I used it a couple of times for other things that helped as well. She gets a cramping again because of all this out of balance thing that she's just nothing we can do about it. It's the pins holding her together and that. So anyway, it's a phenomenal tool. And by the way, people that worry about pins, yes, you have to avoid the pins, but you can still do wherever there isn't pins is fine. So I'm working other areas than where the pins are. Maybe briefly go over the pins, but I avoid them for the most part. Um, so there you have it, guys. That's some testimonials from myself and Candy. We're pretty happy with that. Yes, there's massive testimonials that much more impressive, but I think it's probably worth saying. Look, we put these testimonials where people have one session and their totally dead feet of 10 years are brought back to life, and that's super cool. But sometimes it can lead to a false expectation as well, because that's not everybody that's going to have a result like that. Some people, it's going to take some sessions. And one of the things that I've learned with frequency, and I think Candy will back me up with this, one of the things that happens is, let's use water as an example. So if you're dehydrated, different parts of your body might not be dehydrated. So various parts of your body will be at varying degrees of hydration or dehydration. You're not uniform from head to toe. So when you drink some water, if your particular parts of your body need it, your body may well direct it to that part of the body that's in most need. Your body's very clever like that. It does that with nutrients, it does that with water, it does that with everything. It does it with frequency. So if you've got a problem area, let's say you've got neuropathy and you're aiming at the neuropathy, some people get amazing results. One hit, boom, neuropathy gone. Other people don't. What's the difference? And the difference is that frequency is that healing power is being taken and used elsewhere by the body. That's places that you might not realize you've even got a problem, but your body is using that. So it could take a while before it's dealt with some other things, and then it will get to the neuropathy or the pain or whatever it is later. So not everybody sees amazing, miraculous results day one. Some people might even feel worse after the initial times. That can happen as the body readjusts and muscles that are coming back a lot. It's a little bit like pins and needles. Pins and needles feels horrible, right? You're lying on an arm, you wake up, your arm feels horrible. So you do the thing to heal your pins and needles. What do? You get off your arm. Do you now feel better? No, you feel worse, because now the blood rushes in and now it's 10 times worse than when you were lying on it. Sometimes healing, actually you can feel worse. So I say that only to put some context, because we're putting lots of positive stories, because we're getting lots of positive stories. But I just don't want to give a totally wrong impression that that's how it always happens. Some people have a different kind of journey. I think you'd agree with everything I just said, Candy.
I would, and that's the thing. I've literally watched people say that they worked on a vein for 1 to 3 minutes and watched it dissolve. I'm like, sweet. It didn't happen. So I trust that it will. I do trust the process, and I just need to make more time for myself in a day, and spend 10 or 20 minutes, just on the one varicose vein that I want to work on and see, do be consistent for a few days. I really, really, really do believe it will resolve. I've seen some massively ugly varicose veins go away.
Yeah, I have as well. And I can't test me because I haven't got any. So, but yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys are encouraged by this. We're keeping it real and explaining what's going on. And I hope. And I've gone blurry again. Like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, anyway, that we just wanted to share that. I just heard it just a few minutes before we came on air to share that, and you know, I'm really chuffed for Dean, her husband. That's great news that he had that, because pain is just awful. We've all suffered pain, and it really does make your life miserable. So husbands will understand that better, with having wives and what have you. Um, Candy's just pan faced. Anyway, someone said thank you for sharing. That's our pleasure. That's great. So God bless everyone. Have a great day, and over and out between from me and Candy.